When you're weighing the wings of an aircraft that you're going to sit inside of,
I'll be really, really well set as far as the all weight of the airframe.
Does he have a pilot's license?
oh, dude, he's putting red tape on it. It's fine. I didn't realize he was putting that special red tape on the styrofoam.
Pretty sure that's vinyl.
Wings are sanded, everything's finished. We're attaching the vinyl covering, and this is highly unorthodox. But that's why I kind of like experimental aviation, and that's kind of also why I'm definitely reinforcing and sticking to the bit that I'm not releasing plans for this, because this is definitely interesting. This could potentially be fairly reliable wings for maybe like 2 or 3 years, or they could be completely disastrous if you leave it out in the sun and then, you know, it's all over in a couple days. This is fun. Like, I like this because like I don't have a lot of money wrapped up in this. It's just really the aluminum that's just the most expensive part, and maybe the hot wired foam. So yeah, experimental aviation, yeah. Although we're in the ultralight class. All right, now the vinyl's down. I'm actually gonna slightly melt the foam and the vinyl and try to fuse the adhesives together as much as possible. I think this is really gonna keep this thing.
I feel like I shouldn't be showing you this.
Me?
Yeah, I can see
No, I
cogwheels
wouldn't do that.
turning in your brain. You're looking at it. Your mouth is salivating.
No, I mean,
Why are you looking at this like you want to make this?
Okay, you're just trying to get a rise out of me for content.
Are you not looking at it like you're interested? You're intrigued.
Like, I'm intrigued in the technique he's using. I'm intrigued in what he's doing.
The technique he's using is literally putting vinyl tape on the fucking styrofoam and then pressing it.
Well, he's also melting it.
Piece a year ago, and it's actually still very hard to kind of separate this kind of method from each other. So this is working out pretty well. Well, it definitely doesn't look good, but I'm hoping it stays attached. Because like I'm more concerned about cheap and effective versus, you know, a high-speed finish. This is not a high-speed finish. This is not a high-speed airplane. I'm curious about this vinyl covering too and how much it'll weigh. So let's get a weight of the wing first. 19.8 pounds. That's actually not bad at all. This is a lot lighter than all my previous wings. Hopefully the vinyl covering, I'm only made.
He's just weighing it on a fucking scale. He's weighing it on a home scale by just dropping the styrofoam wing on top of it. That's awesome.
Expecting like 3 pounds per panel, so hopefully a flying weight of 23 pounds per panel. I will definitely be on
does
track
it work?
to making my light ultra light. 21 pounds even, so 20 pounds. So it looks like we're only at maybe around like maybe a pound and a quarter so far. That's just not that bad in just vinyl covering. So yeah, these will be very light wings when I'm done. All right, now we got the other side covered. It looks like it's 22 pounds on the scale. This is officially the lightest completed wing I've ever made for one of my crappy homemade airplanes. All right, let's do the other one, and then we can.
I want to know like where he lives.
These are the same
and like where he's gonna take off and land at.
Yeah, I don't understand how this is like
living in LA. Like this is impossible, right?
I mean,
but like if he's in like North Carolina, maybe. I'm not crazy about his joints, but
it is now time for the wing.
Do you want him to get some certified calibrated scale? When you're weighing the wings of an aircraft that you're going to sit inside of? Yeah. How is that insane of me to say? Okay, come on. You literally make airplanes.
No, I make spacecraft. But
well, you used to make airplanes.
Sure. Depends on what you're trying to do with the data, right? If you're trying to like know to the 5th significant figure, like yeah, obviously you need
wait.
certified.
Don't you need to at least make sure that the wings are the same weight?
No, I mean you're like your center of gravity will be off, and your like aerodynamical like lift points might be off.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're going so slow that like you're compensating for it in other ways. Like it might fly crooked.
I'm losing my mind. Yeah, no shit, it'll fly crooked. One side is heavier.
I don't think he cares whether it flies crooked or not. He just wants it to fly. That's the point.
Okay, I'm losing it.
Because I did a bunch of TLAR engineering, that looks about right, which is horrible for airplane design. But luckily I have an airplane building experience, and I had some actual aero friends come and look at this thing. Plus I've actually used basic components that are used off of other traditional ultralights with the same weight class. So this should pass with flying colors, because everything is a lot lighter on mine than what I'm using. and we're gonna figure this out. Everything that's not lifted weighs about 100 pounds, and then I weigh about 150 pounds to just say on the safe side. So that's 250 pounds. So if
I weigh more than
250
him in
pounds
his
weight,
aircraft.
that's 1 G, so that's basic normal flying. If we double that, we'll get to 2 Gs. And that's still okay, it's whatever, it's good enough. 750, 3 Gs. 3 Gs is actually kind of a lot for an ultralight that flies on a car.
So that he made a drawing. He's good. Yeah. No, I didn't. I feel a lot safer now that I've seen his drawing of the aircraft.
So we'll probably stop center around here. We may go a little beyond 750 depending on how much sandbags we have. I don't think we'll get to quite to 4
So he's
Gs,
gonna
that's
proof
1,000
load the
pounds,
structure.
and that's a lot of weight. Also, we're actually doing this a little bit differently. This is sort of incorrect, but I have a block here that we're setting the airplane on. Because the only thing that we're not really going to get a good test on is the fuselage itself, because the members that hold the wings up, they're going to be in compression rather than tension. So if I
Remember the engineer mentality next time you're flying? No, actually, this is why I love the bureaucratic red tape and the fucking redundancies and fail safes built into like aircrafts. It's awesome. Because if you let these fucking freaks roam the streets without any kind of like genuine regulatory agencies, real supervision, they would make this. They would make this every day. They would make 1,000 of these. And then when people died all the fucking time with them, they go, oh, I mean, what do you mean? This is like a small price to pay for advancing, advancing aviation sciences. Like, I don't understand. Literally. He's laughing over there because he knows it's the case. Thank
I'm
God.
not laughing.
Yeah, he would be like, think about the risk to reward ratio. I don't understand. This reminds me of a certain submarine. Exactly.
My original plan was to cement it from the ceiling. However, I couldn't really.
We saw with what the Titan happened without any regulations. Yeah, and you saw his reaction at first before James Cameron had to fucking come in and be like, Morant, you're wrong. Personally.
Get stuff up there to do that. So we're going to have to just do it this way and just stress test the spars.
Why is there a
wing stress,
wolf eating a
and
man at the bottom
center
of
part
this
fuselage. We just won't be able to actually
whiteboard?
test the strength of this right here, which is the center part of the fuselage. Because in normal flight, it would actually be pulling itself apart rather than being compressed. All right, let's begin the test.
I feel like that's not adequate weight distribution.
So you see how it's upside down?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's 1 G. That's
Well, I mean,
very
yeah, it
obvious,
could be
so
better,
survive
but-
that. Let's go 2 Gs.
Like he's saying, he's looking at like upwards wind pressure. Is that what he's like calculating?
Yeah, lift, right?
Yeah, to see like if it can withstand that level of.
Well, I don't think he's testing the wings itself. He's testing the structure that's underneath the wings.
This is crazy.
This is 2 Gs. This is probably what the most I'll ever really realistically load it in flight to. I'm looking for compression here too, because this is loaded incorrectly. Like this thing is being squished right now.
Right.
Typically it will be being pulled apart in flight, so this is a little different than how it would actually be loaded. I'm setting down the wing, and it's hardly deformed at all. No real flex in that at all. So we're gonna keep going.
Wait, is he gonna keep going until it?
No, he doesn't want to break it. But he's proof loading it. He's applying a much higher load than it would normally
It's getting
see
heavy now.
to
So we are
prove that
900 pounds.
it can
So we're not
withstand
quite at
that
4, but we're
force.
over 3. This is good enough for
So
me.
like
I'm happy.
he'll put twice the amount of weight that it'll ever see in real life. So you know it's not going to break under regular.
Okay.
I want to measure deflection and then take the sandbags off and then see what we get. Okay, now it's being supported fully. That's a lot of weight.
Wait, his measure of deflection is just putting the fuck. He's just eyeballing.
Bro, stop judging the guy, man. Let him live his life.
Oh my god, dude, he's gonna get on it and fly.
For some styrofoam and some aluminum. I see some stuff going on in here.
It
I don't
almost
like
looks
this.
like it's bowing a little bit.
Look, it is bowing.
Is that why this is like?
Yeah,
flexed
that's
out
why
like
that's
that?
flexed out. This is in
Yeah.
compression. But luckily it's not. It doesn't look permanent. So when I take this off, this should just go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
But the windscreen is being pushed out. All right, let's just take everything off.
It's called elastic deformation.
Well, the wing looks back to normal, just covered in a little bit of sand. Actually, that was a good test of the foam itself too, because there's actually no ribs or any sort of wood in here, and all that force was localized like within the center of the foam, where the spars are actually out here, but the sandbag was here, so all that was actually being sunk straight into the foam. So that's really impressive that with that pattern cut out in it, the truss shape, it was still able to survive that very easily and not buckle or crack or rip right out to the bottom. So we're definitely more than good to go, because a normal flight, when it's stressed out, it will be dispersed almost evenly across the surface. It really depends on your angle of attack, but that's just more airplane complexity stuff there. But I'm very, very satisfied with what I see so far. Don't get any ideas about doing this yourself yet. I have no idea how long this is actually gonna last. This is a very, very big experiment. Lurking around the comments on the internet, it looks like I actually found some more information about this engine. It turns out someone actually got like communication from Vitarazi, which is the manufacturer of this motor, and it turns out this PSRU, or prop speed reduction unit, does not like being pulled on, such as my airplane, because it's in a tractor configuration. So unfortunately, this is not gonna have to work. So I had to pull it off and start from scratch, basically. It turns out I actually have a friend, Paul from OpenPPG. He's been working on a single motor, electric paramotor, and I thought, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should do electric again, especially because, you know, things have advanced in like the last 4 years since I did an electric ultralight. So now we're going to use something that's electric. Ooh. I don't want to do much more than that because of that crappy motor mount. I installed all the electronics and stuff and fired up the motor. It does work. Nothing exploded, fortunately. But I did find out I can fit the tiny propeller on the really big motor. The reason why I'm not using the big propeller is I'm still waiting on the motor mount. So I'm gonna check to make sure the amp meter works, and I'm gonna put a small load up by putting this propeller. It's gonna push the air backwards, moving in the wrong direction, but hey, at least I'll get to see the meter do stuff and confirm everything works before we go to the big engine. We're currently drawing 1 amp. 1 amp at 92 volts. 130 watts. Oh, here's the cool thing too, come over this side. One thing I did just in case the, let's say the motor's running away. Oh no, I don't like this.
Like that kill switch?
It completely disconnects the system.
The little
So it's
piece
no
of
longer running.
twig on
Now,
the
however,
Well,
do
it
not
makes
like
perfect sense. Is the kill switch, and then you glide down and hope that you don't fucking die.
Smart idea of plugging this thing back in, because 92 volts without a spark.
Oh,
suppressor-
it just literally plugs it out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, come on. Oh, come on. No. No. Oh, wow.
Ooh, it's gonna make a big spark. I got the motor mount. You said that winch.
Hasan, relax, man. This is how engineering works. He's not selling his plane to Turkish Airlines. He's trying to prove a new concept, which might help us understand wing design a little bit better than today. You read too much into this experiment. First of all, he isn't
I
selling
like
it.
this guy.
But he absolutely is flying in it. Like, he's a human being flying in this plane. You understand that? He's flying in the plane.
The people you got to worry about are not the YouTubers. The people you got to worry about are the people you don't hear about.
All right, here we go. That was full power. I can't even pull it back.
So you
It
put a
sounds
load
very
cell up
smooth.
against it
I'm
to see
actually
what kind
very
of
happy.
pull
It
it's.
doesn't terrify me. The funny thing is, I didn't really mention this, but when I was using the old Moisture 185, this thing was like shaking. This is really smooth, crisp, and clean with no caffeine.
Wait, the OceanGate CEO actually had made his own plane and written a thesis on how to build an airplane from a kit. He even published that kit. I would not recommend buying it. Yeah, even he has the wherewithal not to publish how to make this, by the way, because he was like, I don't want to, I don't want to have other people try this.
Tutmasaydım düşüyordu.
Surely he's not going to actually fly it? You think wrong. He is actually going to fucking fly it.
It's done. A lot faster than any other plane. Cotter pins are in. Basically, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bolts and you're done. I don't really count the fairing to, close the wingtips up. So it's literally just 10 bolts, put the pins in them, and we're good to go. I want to pre-flight it because obviously this is the very first time flying this, and you should really pre-flight any aircraft. But this one needs a thorough inspection because it's been trailered now. So I need to make sure everything's set, and then I'm going to start the taxi test, or the low altitude flying test. Probably I'll just end up flying it if it's too windy because it doesn't have aileron. So I literally have to just go for it to keep the wings from touching the ground. All right, one last thing. Don't forget the IFAC kit in case I have a blowout because the propeller comes back
What
and
is
smacks me in
happening?
the face. clip. Look at this foam? Yeah. Yep, all foam. Alright, batteries are locked. Trying to put on the aerodynamic bolt holder. That's what I'm calling this. It just weather vanes, and it should keep it from spinning if I think this works the way I think it's gonna work. The thing with this plane is it has no ailerons. If this was an aileron airplane, if I start getting too high off the ground, the wing starts rolling, I just flatten it back down with the aileron and just fly, you know, adjacent, like crabbing across the runway.
What?
This is an aileron, so if I get to that stage, I'll probably have to correct with rudder, but gain more altitude to keep the wings from touching the ground. So at that stage, I'm probably flying. So I'll either fly to the end and put it back down, or if it's too high, I just fly it and go around planes. All right, we're ready.
The other guy's just watching him like, girl, what are you doing?
Dude, I know nothing about like ultralight aircraft and like building your own aircraft, but this looks awesome.
Oh!
Well, it flies.
It doesn't even have like pulleys and shit, right?
No, the control surfaces are on the back.
Wait, how does it? Oh, it
has a rudder and
it has a rudder. Yeah. That's it. Is that enough?
No, it also has. I forget what they're called. Horizontal stabilizer.
So how? But it doesn't have anything on the wings, so there's no.
You don't need them.
Okay.
You have 6 degrees of freedom, right? You can rotate and you can roll, pitch, and yaw, and
rudder.
you can just do
always
combinations.
Oh,
of the two.
thank God he has the helmet on, because like that is surely to protect him in a horrifying crash.
Air inside of a nose heavy airplane for the first couple of flights, but I think I could probably put a few pounds in the tail, so I'm gonna put this in the tail. I always try to make them just a little bit nose heavy right off the get go.
What is he doing?
Dude, you're forgetting
we can
it's
weight
so
difference.
small and
I'll
so
barely
slow
probably
and
miss
like flies very
something.
low.
What I do is I need a gun, so when I'm flying, if the plane is too tail heavy, I look back, I shoot the water bottle empties out its fluids, and then I resume nose heaviness, and I can continue flying. All right, y'all, ready to see me
That's
fly?
one way to do it.
Yeah. Probably wearing that helmet so he can mount the GoPro.
Yeah.
By the way.
No, he's not wearing the helmet for protection. I know. I'm an aerospace engineer, and this looks pretty safe at those low speeds. First of all, that's literally what Murat just said. And he also is an aerospace engineer. And secondly, what's wrong with aerospace engineers? Why are you guys like this?
Because we're kept indoors all day and we want to feel the miracle of flight.
It just doesn't make any sense that you're like, oh, dude, it's fine. It's just like, it's a plane, dog.
I imagine this like bit where Hasan's at the there for the first flight and he's like, yo, you guys are crazy, don't do it.
No, that's different. It's like you're okay. See, this is the difference, okay? One is
You're gonna die.
One is revolutionary new technology, which
You don't think this is revolutionary new technology? You think they had this type of electric motors? You think they had foam aircraft at that time?
brother, you understand that like planes exist, right? You know that, like you've built them. You understand, right? This is not like circa flight being invented.
Sir, the turn of the
People
century
think
was a
that
good
people think that I am overreacting to this. Do not understand my mentality at all.
Yeah, you want to stay home where it's safe in front of your computer.
Yeah, if this was a
not touch
helicopter,
grass.
if this was a helicopter, it'd be way different. First of all, no, they do this as well. They do gyrocopters.
You know how helicopters fly, right?
What? How?
They're so ugly the earth repels them.
Is that like an aerospace engineer joke? Dude, the most no pussy having profession on the planet, dude. I swear to God. It's just so, oh God. This is like bringing me back to when we were in high school and Murat would send me engineering jokes from Facebook. Like, I don't need to learn how to read or write. I'm an engineer. And that was the joke. Because like all engineers are dyslexic. Yeah. He would also literally tell me that. I was like, bro, you need to learn how to read. And he'd be like, why? I'm an engineer.
Okay, I wasn't an engineer in high school.
I know, but you would say that you are.
No, I didn't say that.
100% were LARPing as you were an engineer even then. Dude, he's getting fucking... He's going high. How much higher does he go? I kind of want to see him like go up a lot higher now.
I'm sure he could go higher. I mean, I don't know how high he's gonna go. But...
It's okay. He's got a helmet. Does he have a parachute? No, because that would require too much weight.
Also, like, he's not high enough for the parachute to do anything.
Yeah.
Bro, what if he had an ejector seat?
How is he gonna eject through the styrofoam? It just pushes him through the fucking styrofoam. It's not like that's why he has the helmet, so he can break through it without hurting his head.
That'd be pretty sick, though.
It's kind of sick.
See, you're warming up to it.
I am. Now that I've seen it fly, it's definitely dope.
Pretty chill.
And he's a very good pilot, I would say. I mean, that was like a really good landing. Wait, why is there another half of this video?
Full power the
Uh-oh. Why is there 15 more minutes in this video? Oh, God. He's going to go higher, isn't he? He's going to go higher. There's no way he doesn't go higher. There's 15 more minutes. It's not. Oh, Jesus.
entire time. This thing does not make any thrust once it starts going kind of fast. I was like, max power is like just flying the verge, so I was like, yeah, we're going round and round and round. Back on the ground. Get on the ground. I want to be on the ground. Okay, we're back from the first flight. Yeah, that did not go as well as I wanted it to.
That's a
the pitch
scale
beam
replica.
propeller was a little bit too flat, meaning
I
I
got
couldn't
that,
really
Moran.
accelerate even with the throttle pegged at full power. The propeller was basically just turning as fast as it could possibly go. However, the oncoming airspeed was too quick. Also, one thing that I found really interesting, because I've never really flown a aileron-less airplane, this is basically a 2-axis control, was the rudder is extremely sensitive in like roll control as well. A lot better than I thought it would be, especially like if you look at one of these tests here. You'll notice that when I kicked the rudder over, it rolled a lot, and that was actually just induced by the coupling of the whole dihedral thing and where the rudder is and so forth. So it actually flew very well and actually satisfied my kind of requirements for control. The second thing that I noticed was the leading edge of the elevator, which is this surface here, was fluttering a little bit. This made me very, very, very nervous. I knew it might have been a possibility. I just didn't think it would happen at this kind of sort of airspeed, which is around like 35-ish miles an hour. So what was happening was I couldn't see it during the taxi test because I was more preoccupied in just flying down the runway. Now climbing away from that and actually getting some time to kind of pick up some speed, I noticed it was probably fluttering maybe around 3 inches from center line of deviation.
Wow.
It's a bit much for me. It makes me a little bit nervous. So I was like, okay, need to slow down, fly it on the edge of sort of the minimum kind of flyable speed I could fly it at, and just slowly bring it around and put it back down the ground because we need to make some changes. So now that we know we need to change,
I thought
we're
that
gonna
that
do
shit
it.
looked
The
fine.
first thing I'm gonna do is a lock
Shows
off
how
the
much I
old
know.
wing. I'm just literally gonna hot wire
Look at the
phone
wire
cap
cutter, bro.
off, then add 3 feet onto
It's just
it.
a
It's
wire
actually
with
very
a battery
simple because
attached
the
to
way
it.
I've designed this wing, since it's just 2 aluminum bars, it's typically it's like a ladder style.
Bro, he
flight wing.
uses
I literally
Gorilla Glue
machined
for
some
everything,
spacers, some
okay?
aluminum too.
No, I'm sure it's good at bonding that type of foam to that type of foam again.
And steel. Or aluminum, whatever it is. My man is... Wait, it's his sponsor? Wait.
I mean, that makes sense.
What if it fucking doesn't hold him?
Then he doesn't publish
Then the video doesn't get released because he's dead now.
Like, if he uses a lot of it and he has a sponsorship, that's a good...
Moves in, put some glue on top, and just literally add more vinyl, and then the wing is done. That's it.
Wait, this airplane is made out of Coca-Cola cans and packaging supplies? Yes.
Make airplanes out of anything.
Yeah, no, he does. He makes it out of cardboard. But I think he's only made RC planes out of cardboard. That's what I understood. At first, I thought he like flew in an airplane made out of cardboard. He once made an airplane out of like things that you can eat.
An edible plane?
Like literally, he's made it. He's made an airplane out of things you can eat with your mouth. Where is it? He also bought a how many boat engines is too many?
No such thing.
He bought a crusty old lobster boat and is like working on it. Can airplanes made out of food fly? Yeah, it's just the RC. I think he didn't like actually make like a full blown airplane out of food.
Good materials for making an airplane out of. Dry pasta, crackers.
Don't crackers have air in them though? Like you can
Might be able to like somehow wet
made
it.
a microelectric bike out of an ammo box.
I mean, not edible, but if you were gonna do like ramen and super glue, you could do some really interesting stuff.
Flying with 4 giant drone motors, ducted propeller paramotor.
So he loves paragliding. That's what I got out of this.
Yeah. Making a 50-engined RC plane, 30-foot wingspan. Making an off-grid tiny house. Making a solar electric boat with infinite... Okay, that's sick. What happens on a cloudy day?
Then you do have...
Yeah, then you're just fucked. Where is the one that he made with... Chat, where's the one that he made? Navy approved giant F-18 with a real jet turbine. This is not a blimp. Making an RC rigid airship. Making an infinitely powered solar e-bike. Homemade ultralight plane Mark 4 Part 1. This was 3 years ago. No, he upgraded it, I think.
Infinite Rage sailboat.
Can airplanes plant rocket trees? What?
What's a rocket tree? Is it like...
No, it's a tree that he put in a fucking rocket that he deploys.
Oh, is it for like...
For hashtag team trees. He wants to like see if you can just like
Yeah,
drop... Hacking my dog to charge my iPhone? Wait, what? With his butt? What the fuck? Homemade boat car. Cardboard boats with engines.
A very classic engineering school thing is to build a concrete canoe.
Okay, let's finish this one. I want to see how hard he gets.
I added a 3-foot extension onto the wing panel, so it's got a higher aspect ratio now, so it should fly better because there's hardly any penalty for adding any extra wing on, except for extra wing structure. But I did that by taking more aluminum tube and simply shoving it in. We've done a little bit more modifications. I added a wheel to my tail skid because I'm probably gonna do more taxi testing this time.
Bro, look at that
because I just
wheel.
hate dragging around. When I actually fly though, I'm taking that off because
Seems
I like
legit.
the brakes. And by mean brakes, I mean dragging the tail on the ground. We have a 3-blade propeller now for better performance. The propeller is more pitch because last time we were flying a plane in first gear. If you can kind of imagine this, it's basically trying to ride a bicycle at 30 miles an hour in first gear. You got to pedal really fast, but you're not really making any extra speed. There's a little resistance, but the motor's just turning very fast because I watched the amp draw go way down. Also, it's worth noting, I flew on 11 kilowatts of power. To put anything into perspective, because those are just numbers, my first plane had 25 available kilowatts of power, and I probably flew over maybe around like 20-ish of that. So it's pretty good that it flew on 11 kilowatts. It should be even less with the increased wingspan, and with this prop with more pitch, I should get more kilowatts, and I put it on the meter, and I can generate, I think it's around 18 kilowatts now at full power, so that's better.
How do you make the canoe float? Come on, dude. Even I know that is water displacement. How do you make fucking aircraft carriers float, chat? Like, what do you think, magic? Like making a concrete canoe is like just making an aircraft carrier. Well, not really, but same principle. The planes inside lifted up. Anchor the planes down and turn the engines
my flight plan
on.
pretty much is to fly. But we'll see. If it feels really good, I'll probably just continue to climb and we'll just fly around. All right. Well, it's not really quite that simple. So I did think about this ahead of time, like how I wanted to specifically handle a low-speed, low-performance airplane. Because a lot of you guys have pointed out, you need to fly that thing to 1,000 feet and then some so you can use that rocket parachute. Well, yes, but also kind of no. The weird thing about my airplane is it operates like in such a low performance category. It's like simply like it's below like 25 knots flying, and that's like flying fairly well too. It's not the fault that specifically kills you when you jump off a building. It's the sudden deceleration, and there's not a whole lot of energy, however, potential energy that needs to be absorbed somewhere. If I were to simply have a complete structural failure like below 50 feet, I'd probably give myself a 75% chance of survival. Maybe the rudder falls off or something catastrophic, maybe even a full wing collapse, which is highly unlikely in this case. 75% chance there of me surviving that. Now, here comes the issues. Like climbing from beyond like 100 feet to 1,000 feet, this puts me in a very weird area because it's high enough where I can get enough velocity to hit the ground very hard and suddenly stop and also probably scramble my brains. Also low enough too that I have no time to literally throw the hand toss parachute, which probably needs a little bit more than 500, maybe even 1,000 feet to really successfully deploy. So I kind of give myself like brackets on how I'd
Wait,
survive.
why is there only 5% between 1,000 and 1,300 and?
So he has a parachute, but if he's at that height, it doesn't have enough time to.
Yeah,
deploy.
it's time to
But
deploy.
if he's higher, then it'll have time to deploy.
I like that his chances goes up though from 500 to 1,000. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll take those odds. 100% chance to see an ad at the top of the hour though, unless you want to drop that down to a 0 by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. Here is the
podcaster?
broadcaster. Here is the motherfucking 3-minute ad break now, Chad. Here it is. That was such a good one, dude. Holy shit, that was such a good one. Oh, hey, I just got here. Is Marat camera shy today? He said yes. He's nodding.
And this is all if the plane does not climb very, very quickly. I'm going to stay kind of low because I'm thinking if it doesn't climb super well, I'll just stay low because I know it's safe down here and I know I have a fairly good chance of walking away. Because a lot of guys are using this metric of like a composite airplane or something that flies at like 80 knots at like liftoff speed. Anything below like 1,500, assuming the plane has a ballistic recovery system, which is a rocket parachute or something similar to that, you would have a very, very, very low chance of surviving if anything were to happen. And having altitude is your friend specifically in this case because it gives you more time to think if you were to have like an engine out or something like that. But a structural failure, all the energy's got to go somewhere. It's probably not going to end well for you. That's why I really have a slightly different flight plan planned for my ultralight. We should fly now.
Does he have a parachute on this one then? He is, right? Nope. Doesn't seem to be. But I don't. It doesn't look like he has a parachute. Why doesn't he fly over water? You think flying over water at that altitude changes anything?
Well, odds of surviving if he just lands it is pretty.
Yeah, but I'm talking like if we're talking about ejecting or like jumping out of the plane, it doesn't matter at that fucking
Why would you jump out of the plane?
hand deployed parachute. He has a hand deployed parachute? Wait, how? Yeah, it's the little package he taped to the plane before. I can't tell if you guys are fucking with me, but like
no, they're
with this guy, it could be real. Like I feel like
the thing that he put on the side of him.
it's like an umbrella. Music is crazy. Okay, is that the highest he's gonna go? Not trying to be the fun police, but how is this not illegal? Murat has an answer for that. Go ahead, Murat. Because I asked the first thing. I was like, how does the FAA clear this for flight?
Experimental.
There you go.
I don't know the specifics. It might be a weight thing. It might be a speed thing. It might be a height thing. I have no idea.
You just slap on experimental on that bad boy, and you can fly high, baby.
It's a little bit more complicated than that.
It's experimental. Oh, what do you mean? Sir, what are you talking about? This is experimental. No, I know. I know that that's the experiment. It's just under 400 feet is uncontrolled airspace. Experimental turbine-powered aircraft. Experimental aircraft with a maximum gross weight in excess of 12,500 pounds, or experimental piston-powered aircraft with an engine over 800 horsepower and a VNE never exceeds speed greater than 250 knots.
Combination of all of the above.
In this case, it's an ultralight. No license needed since it's under a certain weight. I guess the reason why they don't care about it is if it's ultralight, it's like the impact that it will have on crash is like very limited, right? Like,
Yeah,
you can't do a 911 with this, is my point.
First of all, let's not get into that.
That would be the fear from the government, right?
No, they want to make sure people are safe, but it's so small and so low.
Yeah, 911.
and
That's
so
what I
random
meant.
that-
What? That's what I mean. Go ahead. Oh, come on, go on.
so small and light that it doesn't really matter.
He's mad at me. He's just mad out of frame. South Tower window, yeah. It's like a bird. He has a pilot's license, I think. This dude probably has a pilot's license regardless, even if you don't need one for ultralight
I
vehicles.
think you need one for paragliders too. Motor gliders, whatever.
Wait, someone actually brought up a good point. If you crash into a car with this, the car will survive. If you crash into a bike with this, though, yeah, if you crash into a motorcycle with this, the cyclist is dead.
Depends on how you hit it. If you hit it with the propeller, yeah. But if you hit it with the foam, it's probably going to be all right. The problem is the structure behind the foam.
All right, one more. Go higher. Can we get much higher? Can we get much higher? Go high. There should be a loophole where you can drink and drive legally in experimental vehicles and aircraft. True. You don't need a license for it. What are they going to do?
That flies really good. I'm so happy with that. Ooh, cruises around like 80, 90-ish amps or so. Flies at a nice, comfortable 30 miles an hour. It is the dream machine. It flies good. Ooh.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Fucking pull you over in the air? Yeah, exactly. They have to wait till you land, brother. By that time, maybe you're no longer drunk. Try it out.
They're gonna send F-18s to intercept you.
Yeah, actually, this is America. I could see that happening. If there was if the Chinese people got a hold of this technology, oh boy, you could see the American military send F-18s your way. I mean, they did literally blow up. F-18s can't fly that slow. True, they have.
That was the point.
They sent Cessnas, even though
They
the
can't fly
Cessnas
that
can't fly
slow-
that
slow
slow
either.
either. True. They would just laser you from miles away with their $1 million missile system. Can you even target a styrofoam plane like this? Because it's not emitting that much heat. So you can't use heat tracking. You'd have to see it. You'd have to shoot it with conventional weapons, right? Why are you? I'm thinking about it. You said engine, but it's not like a normal engine. It doesn't have that. It does. The amount of heat that this battery emits, because it's electric, is not significant enough for you to actually trail it. Radar wise, I know for a fact radar tracking will not hit this because it's going 30 miles an hour, which is like wind speed. So you can't really hit something with a missile if it's going it's going at wind speed.
Yeah, that's the hack. You have to go slow.
Yeah. You can't why are you throwing up question marks? I'm not wrong. Use a heat gun to melt the styrofoam. You sure? Am I wrong?
Or what?
About radar guided missiles, any kind of tracking, any kind of missile tracking, it's actually very hard to hit something that's going under a certain speed. If it's going under the wind speed, it's harder because no missile system is made to.
Bro, they hit the Chinese weather balloon.
Yeah, but I think they hit it with a conventional. They hit it with or yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I wonder what they used. They have an ultralight plane for the Monterey Park Police Department.
Idea, and that possibly we could use it in law enforcement.
As compared to $5,000 for an ultralight, the operating cost.
When she sleeps upside down, it's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, that was much better. Much, much more satisfying.
Her lips quivering.
Perhaps the most satisfying ultralight I've ever designed and built and flown. It still didn't have as much power as I thought it would. I think I needed to advance the pitch of the propellers a little bit more. However, man, this thing flies great. I wasn't really sweating at all. It was just more a nervous laughter flying around ooh, I'm flying and this is great. So obviously I decided not to climb very high because, well, my climb performance was anemic, so I couldn't really climb out of that safe bracket because within that bracket of time, I know you need to get out of there very quickly to be safe. So I figured, let's just fly it on low. I like to fly low and slow anyways, and this is what this airplane is designed to specifically do. So anyways, it's a 2-axis design. A lot of you guys keep freaking about that. I noticed it's yes, ailerons are great and all that. However, if you look back in the days of the 1970s and early 80s, a lot of ultralights were 2-axis. To name a few designs, the Sky Pup and the Weed Hopper. They were both incredible airplanes, and I haven't really heard anything bad about those, so I knew it would probably be okay, and, well, it's okay. It flies all right. All right, so future mods. There are a few more things I want to clean up, such as, putting aerodynamic struts on there and sealing the gaps and stuff, but that stuff costs money, and this project was a very expensive project, considering all the batteries and electric motors and stuff. That's why I really would like to say thanks to Kibiko for sponsoring this video and making this possible. So,
wait, could have lived in a future where this was dependable, short distance air travel. You're insane.
That'd be sick.
That would be the dumb. I would never get on that shit. Y'all are fucking nuts.
A lot of you guys asked me, Peter, how'd you get to
Right, brothers, taking off in the
Basically,
background.
when I was a
Hasan's
kid,
comments.
I tinkered around a lot. tricopter thingy.
This is the V2 I've been working on.
And that's
Okay, this is giving me flashbacks to my childhood with this living with the fucking demon that's sitting away from the camera.
Remember when I bought a crossbow to shoot down the planes from trees?
Oh yeah, I do. And then you claimed you'd hit me with it.
No.
Okay.
That's why I'm very happy to have KiwiCo sponsoring this video. He's been
Oh, so the rest of it is just an ad. Okay, this was fire.
Kids these days don't know how good they have it.
I'm mad we aren't encouraging this type of homemade engineering though. Oh, have you seen this?
Hell yeah.